Right now in 2023 is a fantastic time to pick up some Pokemon singles to add into your collection. So today we're going through a bunch of cards which are great pickups for collecting or investing. Let's get into them. Alright guys, we are back with another bunch of single cards to pick up to add into your collection. Whatever lot that is to have as a nice collection or to invest in, these cards are fantastic pickups. We'll be looking at the Sword and Shield era at some amazing cards which are pretty good price right now if you do want to add them into your collection. So without further ado, let's get into the first one. First up, we have this Pikachu Black Star promo. Now this is an absolutely amazing card. I really like the look of this, and to be honest, it's kind of unique. I like the look of these. Now we've had a similar promo recently in the Scarlet and Violet era with the Pikachu and the starter Pokemon. Well, this is Pikachu and the starter Pokemon for Sword and Shield, and this promo is really sweet. We're looking at $25 over on eBay, 38 on TCG Players, a little bit more on TCG Player, and 23 euros on Card Market. In a PSA 10, going for around $86, which actually isn't too bad. And then we're looking at 36 in a PSA 9. You're probably looking about, breaking even on that one. Let's take a look at the chart though. This in a PSA 10 has been dropping. Again, that may be because PSA prices are getting cheaper. More cards are just getting graded. There's going to be a lot more out there. And this is one of the reasons why it has been dropping. I mean, it was above $100 in a PSA 10 for the longest time over the past 6 months. But it has been dropping and selling around that $86 mark. If we take a look at the raw price, again, that has been dropping. It was around that $30 mark, just above 30 for the longest time now. This is looking on eBay rather than on TCG Player, as it is a little bit more expensive over on TCG Player. But nonetheless, it has been dropping. $25 or so is pretty good for this card, and it's just awesome. Right, it's just a super sweet card, and there are some amazing promos, and this is definitely one of them. Next up on the list, we have the Umbreon Gold Star from Celebrations. This is a fantastic card. Umbreon across the board has been doing really well. Obviously, we've been seeing Evolve in the Skies. We're starting to see it tick up slightly in sets like Brilliant Stars. So, across the board, Umbreon, big fan favourite. However, in Celebrations, this isn't the most expensive card, so now's a really good time to get it. Looking at $16 on eBay and $21 on TCG Player. In a PSA 10, there's a lot of it. Okay, there's a lot of it. $68, PSA 9, $24. So there is a lot of PSA 10s floating around. We look at the price of the PSA 10, it has been pretty steady, sitting around that $70 mark for the longest time. Had a few spikes where it went up to over $100. All depends when you want to buy or even sell this. However, the raw price has been going down slightly over the past 6 months. Let's take a look at this. So we're looking around $20. I mean, it had a couple of dips where it did dip below 15, here and there. But apart from that, it's been pretty steady. And even recently sitting close around that $15 to $16 mark. For this card is pretty good. Celebrations is getting a bit more pricey, not massively difficult to get hold of, but celebration packs themselves are getting pricey. It is quite tough to pull the Umbreon, but it is a fantastic card. Next up, we got the Marnie promo. Now, this is actually from the Marnie Milk Carton, the Premium Tournament Collection box. I have 2 of these graded. They both came back a 9, unfortunately. And as you can see, the price difference, guys, let's take a look. $24 on eBay, $28 on TCG Player, $12 on Card Market. Super cheap on Card Market. But in the PSA 10, $160. I managed to only get mine in the PSA 9. I'm looking at 35. Huge difference. This is a big card. Getting a 10, but like most promos, they don't always have the best quality. So getting a 10 can be quite tricky. And as you can see from the chart, it has gone up. Unlike some of the others, has gone up in that PSA 10. Maybe because it might be difficult to grade in a PSA 10. Both mine came back on a 9. They look pretty good. Obviously not good enough. Raw price this card has been dropping ever so slightly, but it's been around $30 for the longest time. But it did drop to around 24 here and there, so dropped a little bit, and it's kind of settled around that 24-25 mark. However, on Card Market, this is pretty cheap going. However, the Marnie Milk Carton is getting a little bit more pricey compared to the Professor Juniper one and the most recent Clara and Cyrus ones, because this promo is really good. Marnie, big fan favorite. All right, next up, we've got one of my favorite cards actually from Fusion Strike, and that is the Breakdance and Genesect V. Me on a Saturday night, $20 for this alt art. Okay, now Fusion Strike, very tough to pull alt arts. It's a huge set. We know the pull rates are really bad. This is a awesome alt art. That, in all honesty, is cheap. Let's take a look. So $20 on eBay, $19 on TCG Player, $22 on Card Market. In a PSA 10, we're looking at $123. That is an insane return on a PSA 10. PSA 9 is a little bit more than Raw, which is actually pretty good. And there isn't that many graded, mainly because, well, probably tough to pull, right? We look at the PSA 10, it did actually drop. So it was around $120, and it did actually drop to, around about 50, and then recently, bang, it's gone up. So mainly because of the power of alt arts, and also not only that, the power of the fact that Fusion Strike is tough to get these big pulls. this is a huge card. Even though it's a huge card, the raw price is still cheap. You know, like I said, it's been around that 22, 25 for the longest time, and it's settling still around $20. Great little pickup from Fusion Strike. Just because the pull rate's so tough, this is a good one. Okay, we're moving on to some Japanese. We have the Magikarp from Triplet B. Now, this is a nice card. It is a nice card, and it is quite a big card. Now, it's actually been quite a big card on Paldea Evolved, which we'll get to that in an upcoming video, what's going on Paldea Evolved. But from Triplet B, this was a big card that there was loads of hype around this when it was shown. $21 on eBay. Not massively expensive from, you know, the Japanese set. However, in a PSA 10, coming in at around $90, that's a good amount of money. It's a good amount of cash right there. And then 40 in a PSA 9, so it's actually worth grading. It is definitely worth grading. Japanese tend to grade pretty well. You know, the card quality in Japanese is good, so if you do want to get this graded, I would highly suggest doing so. But this is a beautiful card. I love the colors. I love the art. It just looks amazing. And the raw price has kind of been stable. It did creep up to around about $30, and then it dipped slightly. Now, there was loads of hype before it came out, but now it's out. It's settling around $20, and I think that's a really good deal. Another great card, Japanese, we've got the Charizard V-Star, and this is from the V-Star Universe box. And here's the thing. In English, we're getting the UPC, right? But Japanese, it's in the set. Look at $36. This is a big card from V-Star Universe at $36. PSA 10, you look around 92, which is really good. And then 43 in a PSA 9. No, it's not too bad. In a PSA 10, that's pretty good going. However, if you look at this, right, the graded price, PSA 10, $400, and it's just dropped, and then it's been dropping ever since. It has been dropping, and the raw price as well. Let's take a look at the raw price from $90 now down to that $36. Great time to pick up. Not that easy to pull. It isn't that easy to pull, even though V-Star Universe gives you the hits. This is still a big card, and Charizard, fan favorite, right? And then we have the Duraludon V. This is an art from Evolving Skies. Now, Evolving Skies, we all know the drill, guys. Super expensive. This isn't an evolution, but this is one of the cheaper alt arts in the set. Now, I genuinely think alt arts pretty much across the board moving forward will go the same way as Tag Team and Sun and Moon, where people are like, wait a minute, these are fantastic. Look at these artworks, they're amazing, and they are amazing, right? And I think even the cheap ones are going to do pretty well in the long haul because they're cheap. We're looking at $16 basically onto eBay, 17 TCG player, 26 on car market, so there's a bit more on car market. 39 PSA 10, not the greatest, let's be fair, and 14 in a PSA 9. Yeah, not the greatest card to get graded, but that's fine. You know, if you want to add into your collection raw, now's a good time. We're looking at PSA 10 price. PSA 10 price has dropped from around $60, and like I say, down to that 39.40 mark. So PSA 10 has dropped. Let's take a look at the raw price. So raw price pretty much been stable. I mean, it did dip to as low as $13. It did go up to as high as $20, but we're sitting around that 15, 16, 17. It's actually not bad, especially with Evolving Skies. As we know, pull rates are tough. Booster packs get more expensive, booster boxes get more expensive, and it still is an alt art. There you have it, guys. Those are just some cards that I think are really good, and I would especially look closely at the Japanese sets because there are some cards in Japanese which I think are going to be fantastic. They don't have to be waifus. There are some amazing cards, you know, that just are great pickups, and a bunch of these cards, these are great pickups for your collection. And I think now's a good time. Now's a good time. There's been a lot of stock, there's been a lot of restock of a bunch of different Sword and Shield era sets, and not only that, a lot of the cards have been dropping in price because of that, and that makes it a really good time to pick up singles for your collection or for the long term. Either way, they're all really good and they're really nice. And remember, you want to make sure the condition centering is great, especially if you want to send off to get graded, because some of these got good returns when graded, especially in a 10. That's the Sword and Shield era. But if you want to see me open up the brand new Paldea Evolved, then make sure to click on this video right here. If you watch more Pokemon content, guys, you know what to do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are the legends, and I'll see you in the next one.